Thank you. I think you already got a peg that I'll be the next representative. I appreciate that.
There we go.
First, I'd like to thank, there's a group that I'm very proud to be a member of, and I think that during this week of Memorial Day, I think we need to give them a special applause, and that's our veterans. So I'd like to see everybody give an applause. And again, I want to thank, I'm very encouraged that all you folks are here this evening. It's very enthusiastic to see everybody getting involved, and it makes me feel good on the inside. I remember growing up, and my great uncle, who was like a father figure to me, who was a union man, and voted direct opposite what I vote. And we'd go back and forth and argue, and finally I'd say, "Did you vote?" And he'd say, "No." I said, "Well, I don't want to hear it." And I think that's something that we're looking forward to. People are getting involved and going from there. Again, so I thank you for all being here tonight. There's three things that I always take with me everywhere I go, and it's things that I cherish. As I said, I'm a veteran. I joined the Michigan National Guard at the age of 17 and still be in high school. First thing I always carry with me is my military police coin. And on this coin is for saving somebody's life, and on the back there is a number. And in the Military Police Museum, there's my name next to that. So it's something that's very precious to me. Second thing that I always carry with me is a rosary. I am Catholic, and I do carry with that, and I believe in spirituality, and I believe in my faith, and I hold that near and dear to my heart. And the third thing I always carry is my Constitution. And I think that too many times people forget where that comes from, and I think especially the younger generation sometimes forgets about that, and we need to learn more about it. A little bit about myself. I am a small business owner. I own 3 small businesses. As I was telling some folks yesterday, that same great uncle that was my role model, I thought I wanted to be like him. I wanted to work at General Motors, I wanted to chew tobacco, and I wanted to live my life as he did. Well, I got out of the military, came back, I tried chewing tobacco, and really it didn't settle very well with me. I was dumb enough to try it twice. I got a job at a factory, a union factory, and just found out that was not for me. It was not something that I truly enjoyed, and did not stay there. So I started my first small business, which was a food concession business, and I still own that today. And I've been involved with that business for 18 years and been on my own for 11. We do travel throughout the state of Michigan and all the way down to Ohio. And it has been a very good business to me, and I enjoy doing it. With that, I get to talk to a lot of people throughout the state, and you get to hear different people's ideas, and I think that even the people that are way up in Houghton, they have some good ideas every now and then. My second business that I do own is a heating and cooling company, and we do specialize in geothermals and things like that, and that it's not the best year to be in. As I was telling somebody earlier today, I was speaking with a fella, and I said when the times get hard, people like that get laid off, and they go and they fluctuate the business because they start up their own businesses. So it has kind of done that. During these difficult times, I found out that my bills were getting a lot higher. I sat down with the accountant one day, and I said, "Man," I said, my bills got me from 1 page to 2 to 3, and then the income coming in was getting shorter and shorter. And I said, "Well, what can I do to help with this? You know, I could go back and work for somebody." Well, there was no jobs to be had. So, or else I can think of outside the box and think what I had to do. So what I did was I took my savings that I had saved for retirement, because nobody was going to give that to me, and I purchased some rental house properties. Now, this was not something that I wanted to do my whole life. I didn't want to be a landlord, but it has helped bridge this gap during these difficult times. I think that as a state to survive and get back on the right track, we need to think of alternative means. Also, I have been involved in public service since I was 18 in high school. I was a member. I went to school, and I lived in northern Salem County, but then went to a school in Huron County. And they decided they wanted to close the agri-science and the FFA programs. Now, these programs taught me a lot of things: parliamentary procedure, public speaking, things that I truly enjoyed. The school had said, "Well, we'll pacify these kids. We'll let them go, and they'll once they graduate, we'll just close it all together." So we started driving and being active, and we drive all the way to Port Hope, which is about 45 minutes from where our school was. We felt so strong about that program. I did run for school board my senior year of high school, just in response to them folks like that. And that's what I want to do when I get to the Capitol, is stand up for them people that deserve and need to be stood up for. That program is there today, and it is going very strong. I usually carry around an article with me, and I had that article three months ago that said how the Ubley FFA was shined at this year's convention. Yesterday, I opened the paper, and here was there was an FFA student that was just speaking at the Department of Energy, and she was from the Ubley FFA. You know, I spoke with all the folks that stood up for what was right. It wasn't necessarily popular at that time, and we all felt very strong and proud to have made that right choice way back then. And those people today, those young adults, have that opportunity. I think there's things that I do believe in. I believe in a hand up, not a hand down. I believe in assistance and not dependence. I don't have a problem with that. But also, what I do believe in is that over 10 years ago, our state was the third state business to do business in. And with that, we have sunk down to third from the bottom. It's actually 47th. And the #1 state is Indiana right now. And I'd like to replay a quote from earlier that our governor had said that, you know, we'd be blown away in 5 years. Well, she blew 500,000 people right out of our state, 500,000. And we need a pro-business person in office. We need somebody that can stand up for what is right, not afraid to say no, and do what's right there. With that, like I said, Indiana is the #1 state, and they have a very pro-business legislator there. They, you know, I always joke around and I say, when we bring a business in, we all like to pick on big business and corporations and things like that. But it's really like a job interview. And when they go around and Michigan says you're paying your fair share, and Ohio says, well, we'll give you 10% abatement, and Indiana says we'll give you 20%, just like when we all went out there looking for that first job, and somebody said, we'll give you $10 an hour, somebody said, I'll give you 10 plus a week's vacation, and $10 plus a week's vacation plus health care. Where are you going to go? So we need to stop that hard-nosed attitude, and we need to bring jobs back here. And once that starts, we're going to be, it's to start in the right direction and go from there. With that, like I said, there's many groups that I have been involved with. Public service has always been a passion of mine. I always say this is a job that I would choose to do if I had a choice of any job in this world. I've been very active in the veterans organizations. I sit on the Brownfield Board, the Veterans Village Governing Council, and a little more here locally in Port Huron. I am the Cabinet Secretary Treasurer for the Lions Club, which institutes that I am in charge for all the bookkeeping and the money of the district, which entitles 4 counties and about 1,400 members. But with that, I thank you very much for putting this on and calling me, and I appreciate coming here today. And I also believe that together we can all fix Michigan. And I will entertain any questions at this time. Yes, sir.
How about some specific issues here? How about things like offshore wind energy in general? Suggestions where we would support for solving Michigan's budget crisis? Something specific.
Yep, sure. On the offshore wind, I will admit when I was wrong, and when I first heard that they were going to put, I grew up in an area, Ubley, which is in Bingham Township, where they originally were going to start the windmills. It was actually before Pigeon. I heard somebody talk about Pigeon earlier. And I sat in on those meetings at the township level at that time. I was the director of the ambulance service there. And was very entertained in the things that were going on and the abatements that I was talking about to get that there. And I thought, well, what a wonderful thing. And then and I heard, and I listened to everybody, and then I thought, well, you know, my first opinion was these would be good on the lake. And then I got thinking, well, you know, a lot of our tax revenues, they're coming from that property on the lake that is valued at a higher level than maybe on the inland. And if we look at the alternative and what we're going to get back and receive, and maybe those property values are going to drop, I don't think that's the answer. I do think the Michigan business tax is way out of whack, which kind of goes into being third from the bottom on the tax scale here, the doing business, and I think we need to repeal that and think of different ways to do that. Yes, sir.
Would you consider statewide funding of workers' compensation as a way of helping Michigan's businesses?
I think we need to look at all programs. I think, you know, as a business owner, you know, those type of things definitely drowned us down and overburdened us. And I think unfunded mandates in our state are too much of a burden. And I think any program is not off the table. We need to look at them and see what measures can be gained and lost with them.
How do you feel about homeschooling?
I'm sorry, say it again.
Homeschooling.
I'm a very good advocate of homeschooling. I have a lot of friends that I graduated with that were in our class at one point in time, and then they went to homeschooling and done a very good job and have lived successful lives and have been beneficial to society. I think it's a good thing. I think education starts at home, along with discipline. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. I was kind of curious what your attitude on state legislatures using the 10th Amendment to keep the federal government from encroaching any further than they already have on the sovereign states themselves.
Yep. As I said, I'm a big advocate of the Constitution and the 10 Amendments, and I think that it's a very wise decision. I think that, you know what, we are, I believe in state rights, and I believe that we are, you know, we can handle ourselves the majority of the time. I don't believe that we should be dependent on the federal government, such as some of these dollars that are coming in through the stimulus package. I think, you know what, you let us survive on our own and let us make our own laws, and we'll do a very good job.